Okay, I got a 2008 Lexus RX350 and I'm going to be replacing the rear shocks on this car, and I'll show you the step-by-step. What I've done with the jacks is I've got, of course, a jack stand under the area right where you would jack up your car, and then I've got the floor jack underneath this little arm right here. It takes some pressure off of this strut here. The first thing I've done is I've put some WD-40 on these two bolts right here. They'll be the first thing we take off, and then we're going to be removing this bolt and this bolt after that. Alright, I'm going to be using the number 5 size 5 Allen head. It goes right inside here, and this holds the bolt steady while you loosen it with your 14mm. So I'm going to have to use both hands. Looks like I need to jack it up a little bit more to relieve the pressure on the bolt. This bolt here is a 10mm. Using a 7/8. It's slightly used, but it's loose, but it does work. And you do need to put a breaker bar over the end of this wrench to get it loose, because it's pretty tight. After you get those bolts loose, you want to go ahead and pop this top off to get to the bolts on the top side of the shock. There's 3 of them. There's one there, and one there. You will need a 15mm deep socket to remove these nuts. Go ahead and release the jack so that no pressure is on your shock at this time. Before you remove your shock, you will have to remove this line right here. It's a 10mm. Go ahead and reinstall it in reverse order. So that means you're going to put the top of the screws in first, and go ahead and stab those screw holes right back through the original spot, and then put the nuts on them. That'll hold it all in place for you. I would say probably the most challenging thing about putting the new shock back in, of course, you put the top bolts in first, and you have to have something kind of underneath the shock to hold it up. I used a hammer handle between here and here, and it seemed to work really good. Be careful not to damage this piece right here. But that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is getting this top hole pushed in and lined up with that bolt. And what I have found that helps me is I put a floor jack underneath this part underneath there, and it raises it up to where it lines up the bolt hole pretty well. And so maybe this will help you. It took me a few minutes to figure out how to get that to line up, but it is the best way. And then you can use maybe a large screwdriver or something to kind of get the hole lined up where the bolt can go through. And after that, you're on your way back. Torque all the bolts down to the correct specifications, and don't forget to put this guy right here back on. When you're putting this, trying to get this bolt to line up with that hole, just go ahead and get your floor jack, put it underneath this side of it, and jack it up. Until your hole lines up. Put your nut on it, and you're ready to go.